would you like to start? What are some topics you'd like?
I could go in any direction.
I know
They
you
all
could.
they all touch they all touch each other, you
I
know.
know.
So it doesn't really matter that much unless there's a particular issue.
Well, one of our goals is to get a bunch of promos. We're doing a little promo, little 30-second, 1-minute promo type stuff for the In the Fed thing that we have coming up that I was telling you about. September 22nd, Saturday.
Let's
March.
coin together.
Let's coin together. What do you
Yeah.
think that's all about?
Well, I'd like to hear you give me the pitch.
The pitch on
Yeah,
it?
like the 30-second or 60-second pitch on
You want me to give
Let's
you the
Coin
pitch?
Together.
Let's
Who
coin
better
together.
to give it than you?
Well, we all have our share our coins. It's not the communist version, right?
Sharing
It's
coins?
not that type of thing, but I'm sure it starts pre-1913. I can guarantee you. So that's a good start, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, but it's a federal crime, of course, to coin
It's a federal crime.
money, or even to be accused of it. Yeah.
Right. But it's also, they would consider a federal crime that we're trying to end the Fed, too, right?
Yeah, it kind of depends on what action you take towards that end. But the coining, you know, that's why
Well, we're not
that's
making our own
provocative.
coins.
Well, but
There will be
that's
more.
why I want you to explain what that means,
Okay,
because
you wanna
let's coin
clarify.
together means let's get together with, you know, I know this guy Jason
I
in
think
Grass
that's
Valley who's got a
exactly-
mint, and let's coin some.
I would think that it's
And that's
get
okay,
together.
as long as you don't put a dollar denomination on it.
No. I think Dick Gregory tried that and they put him in jail for it. He went around putting his name on dollar bills, passing them out as like flyers while he was running for Congress.
We should get Dick Gregory.
Get
to
Dick
be on one
Gregory.
of
That would
these.
be awesome. I would love to meet him.
I've always wanted to meet him.
Yeah, I used to have his
Since
number.
I was a boy, I wanted to meet Dick Gregory.
Dick Gregory was awesome. I actually read his book, Callous on My Soul. Got it from the dollar store. You know, best thing you'll ever find at the dollar store, I guarantee.
That's good.
It was definitely worth it, and it's just like those things that, you know, it's just kind of like you're just walking in life and God is doing things, hands you things, whatever. And this is one of the things that he's, you know, really got me to really try to learn about. I don't know about this stuff. I'm not good on the coinage. I'm not good. I hate math. I don't like money. I don't like anything like that. I like bartering or other something like that. But this is the system that we have, and a pre-1913 system would be better.
Well, only because if we are Americans, or people, citizens of any country, we want to be using our own money and not paying exorbitant interest rates to someone who is simply lending us the money we need.
I don't hope so.
And so basically that's the whole thing, you know. Since the establishment of the United States, there have been forces trying to exert a national bank, but a national bank typically meant that there were private banking companies which would serve as that bank
Okay.
for the United States. And, you know, Andrew Jackson was famous for fighting it off as much as we had one, and then we didn't for a while, and then we had one, and then we didn't for a while. And the Federal Reserve was just another and much better, more permanent style, you know, solution to that.
Yeah, it seems kind of strange that like nobody's really been talking about it that much since it got started. You know, I mean, it seemed like, and maybe it's just because, you know, it's the first time I ever heard about it. It was 2005, 2006, but it was just like, I think it was just a big boom, and whatever that boom was, if I wouldn't have heard it during that, I probably still wouldn't know what it is, and I probably still wouldn't care. You know, so.
Well, it's not clear that they've even now revealed enough that how can you even know that it isn't even a waste of time to pay your attention to? You know, it's kind of like, I still don't think that most of the real information has come out on the subject, but the reason why you didn't know it earlier is because, you know, we're never told how money really works. And even in economics, folks don't learn. I had registered securities professional licenses for years, and had to pass pretty stringent exams, you know, from the National Association of Securities Dealers to know how things like bonds, securities work and stuff. But they don't teach you that. They don't teach you that the whole system is based on fractional reserve banking. where it doesn't have to necessarily be the money there to cover any debt that anyone has to anyone.
Can you?
Rule of thumb is maybe 10% they actually have on hand at any given time, but that could always change depending on how many people come to collect, to take a withdrawal at any given time.
Well, can you explain to us like what is fractional reserve bank? What is that term? What does it mean?
Real crude, it simply means you lend money based on your implied total holdings, but since most of your holdings at any given time are actually being lent out at the time, you don't have the money that you're lending.
Where does it come from?
It's written down, quite literally. It's an entry. Nowadays it's an entry in a computer, but it was always an entry on a ledger with ink by a guy wearing a green shade. We used to say in securities, an old guy wearing a green shade. In the old days, they had, because there were dimly lit places,
Really?
shops,
Okay.
with the brokerage,
Kinda
Wall
like
Street and
this
stuff.
place,
Yeah, even more dimly than this, and I don't know what the green shade was. Maybe maybe they had like a certain kind of light
where you
for their
pull.
desk or something, and maybe that helped them. I don't know. That's been lost in the midst of time, but
Probably
we
something
knew
to
what
do
green
with
shade meant.
Companies, yeah. Okay.
When I started out in the field, there were still old timers who remembered the ones who were old timers when they started out, and those were the green shade. So,
That's interesting. So that's what they really should be called, green shade.
but this dates back. There's always been usury, but it was really
That's
perfected as we know it by the Rothschild family. And not only that, but the fella who really started it had 5 sons and was able to finagle it so that he could position his key sons in major European capitals, and henceforth that was really, they already had a head start towards establishing themselves as essentially the banker to the entire European continent, to the Western world, really.
Right.
Because America came out of that. I don't think so, but they were goldsmiths, and I think that they were quite middle class, really. But they could see the goldsmithing and the next step even better than that, really.
Amschel, Rothschild or something?
Meyer Amschel Bauer, and then he decided to call his outfit Rothschild, meaning the red cross or the red
That's
shield.
kind of weird. That's kind of a weird name to. Yeah,
Well, it had
must be a meaning.
it had connotations probably relating. People would say it related to old-time religion and the symbology of the red dragon and stuff like that. So,
Something deeper.
Well,
Deeper meaning.
it's connected to it's thought to be of the same spirit as some would call it satanic or Luciferian. I think they'd call it Luciferian.
So they brought us this fractional thing.
I think that they perfected it. I think it existed in the time of Jesus and long before that. They perfected it in terms of providing, essentially being bankers to the nations. He made that famous quote, I care not who writes the laws of the nation, give me control over its money supply, and I essentially am controlling that country. And then he further said things to the effect that, I'm the banker to the United Kingdom and by extension the United States of America and all of the Commonwealth, holdings of the British Empire, really.
It's crazy.
And so, we can see that it's so.
And that's why we are here today. That's why this country is in the situation it is.